Good morning, everybody. Cold and frosty. Hope it's keeping you awake. My name is Allan Sudlow. I'm Director of Partnerships and Engagement at AHRC, Arts and Humanities Research Council, and I oversee our activities involving creative, cultural, heritage digital data, including, of course, towards the National Collection, or TANC, as I will refer to it. Welcome back to the delegates, both in person and online. Many thanks from me to all the participants, the TANC team, our partners and our steering committee for all the hard work getting us to this important moment, more of which you'll be learning about later in the day. Before I get to my short introduction, just a moment of housekeeping. If emergency alarms go off, follow the signs to the fire exits. This is my, air hostess moment or air host moment where I direct you to the fire exits. Mobile phones on silent during the sessions, and the spaces that we will be using today throughout the wonderful Contact Theatre will be locked when not in use, so please take all your belongings with you at the end of each session. So I was asked to give a brief reflection on the first day, and trying to do this briefly was a real challenge. So I've just picked a few key thoughts from the different things I heard and saw yesterday. From Our Heritage, Our Stories, I heard about building digital bridges to support community-generated archives and the complexities of respecting care principles when we work with communities on their own archives. I visited the Congruence Engine Showcase, and I entered a virtual heritage site demonstrating the convergence of game technology and heritage experiences. I learned, and I am a little bit behind the times on this, that the IIIF standard is not just about flat images anymore, but it's about 3D, moving image and sound as well. Sloan Lab showed us how we can challenge the narratives and the languages of colonial legacy through equitable participatory research to redefine and map across multiple dispersed collections. Transforming collections demonstrated the need for thoughtful and ethical approaches to human-AI interaction, and brought to life through how that was shown also was brought to life through artistic practice and transforming the very nature of the collections in and around Tate Modern. And I heard a brilliant performance, which I enjoyed very much, by Jennifer Reed, which brought industrial age folk song to life, and very apt, given it was around Manchester and Salford that those songs really described what was going on at that time. So we've got much more to look forward to today, including keynotes and discussions from the Congruence Engine and Unpath Water Discovery projects, workshop practical demonstrators, interactive displays, and the launch of two key resources: the TANC policy recommendations and a call to action to partners, unlocking the potential of digital collections, and you'll be hearing much more about that later, and a suite of training materials and guidance to support practically the use of those recommendations in your own organisations, institutes and contexts. But first, we have a short message from my boss, Professor Christopher Smith, Executive Chair of the Arts and Humanities Research Council, who I think is still currently in the States. So over to the guys who are now going to run the VT message, as they used to say in TV studios of old.
Hello, I'm Christopher Smith, the Executive Chair of the Arts and Humanities Research Council. I'm very sorry not to be with you on this occasion of discussing the extraordinary achievements of the brilliant programme towards the National Collection, but I'm pleased to have the opportunity just to offer a few words of thanks and a look ahead from my own perspective. So, as you know, AHRC and UKRI awarded the 5-year Towards the National Collection programme roughly nearly £20 million worth of funding over 5 years, and I think it's been an extraordinary success. What this programme has achieved and what it will have done by its close is to have grant funded 16 research and development projects, as well as a series of commissioned reports on the scale of digital collections, current operation of copyright, what research users want from digital collections, and how digital collections are valued by the public. Far more, as it turns out, than we might have expected. What's really driven this program so brilliantly is the interdisciplinary nature of all the teams. That's demonstrated what can happen when cultural organisations and universities work together, and when the voices of curators, computer scientists, historians, creative practitioners are all heard and are all given equal weight. For us, these partnerships and the interdisciplinary nature of them has been absolutely critical, and has allowed us to grasp and address major digital challenges like the challenge of AI used ethically and responsibly, and the way that we productively and effectively harness big data. No more important a time to discuss that than when there is a suggestion of a national data library. And I have said repeatedly, and will continue to say, that if we want a national data library to work, we need to do it using librarians. The library and archive and collections community is a place that already knows how to deal with data of disparate natures and how to bring it together and use it most effectively. Now, TANC is just one of the substantial investments that we've been making in this area of cultural heritage collections and digitisation. In total, if you add up towards the National Collection, CAPCO, Riches and Disco, which is the Scientific Collections project just to come, that amounts to about £320 million. Huge investment from AHRC. And I do want to underline the fact that I think without AHRC's leadership, it would be hard to imagine us being in the position that we are now. Looking ahead, we've funded the Directorate team to undertake a significant consultation with the sector to understand your priorities, to work with you, and to work out how we, as a funder, alongside others, can drive those priorities forward. We want to keep the UK at the forefront of inclusive, connected, and sustainable collections that are driving research and innovation. And I'd stress the innovation as much as the research. This is highly practical, highly applied, but also it's highly exciting for the way that science can develop for general good. Key to this future support, however, is going to be your support for us. So we really need the collective, collaborative and focused delivery of the policy recommendations launched today. And we need a wide and loud agreement across multiple institutions and funders on how this can happen and why AHRC support is so important for this sector to go forward. We can do so much more if we move forward together, but we need further investment in this sector. Going back to Paul Nurse's report on research infrastructure, it was incredibly important that we won the argument that the museum and collection sector had to be considered as a key part of our science research infrastructure for the future, and I want to hold on to that. So my closing word is a congratulations and thanks. Congratulations to everybody who's worked so hard and so brilliantly in this project, and my thanks to you all. We have an amazing community here doing amazing things. Let's stay together, let's get behind these policy recommendations, and let's really make the case for the future of our national collection. Thank you.
So we'll be revisiting that call to action and some of the points that Christopher raises in our final discussion today with a panel of other funders, policymakers and sector representatives to set out a vision for this continued collaboration. And for those of you not aware, I thought I should mention that TANC has directly informed the development of the EU's programme for European Cloud for Cultural Heritage. And I'm mentioning that because I strongly encourage all the UK community of researchers to look at the associated funding opportunities which are now open for that. And further details are available of that online and in the Swapcard app for this conference.